Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to look at some of the different technologies that ended trench warfare. These are some of the new technologies, new to World War I, or that were perfected in World War I, that helped the end of trench warfare. First one we're going to look at is heavy artillery. Artillery is another word for cannons or mortars. These are things that could pound huge shells into trenches at a great distance. Often they didn't even see the men they attacked. Big one like this would be called a howitzer. This would fire up in an arc and was really deadly because it could fire down into trenches. One way this helped end trench warfare is these guns took a long time to set up and to load, so they would be very useful against trenches or fortifications, but not against a mobile foe. Next, let's take a look at airplanes. Airplanes were invented a few short years before World War I. They were used first just to scout enemy movements. They could find the enemy and report back to their superiors, and you could change your battle plan. This one here is a Sopwith Camel. Soon they had machine guns mounted on them. They'd use machine guns to attack other airplanes, occasionally to strafe targets on the ground, and to bomb them. Since a plane could go over a trench really didn't offer tons of protection in case of an airplane attack. Now, these pilots were very brave men, taking their lives into the hands of their machines, and the airplanes at this time were only made out of wood and fabric with very little metal, so that machine guns would just shred right through them. Nonetheless, they were a great advantage in ending trench warfare and seeing where the enemy is and attacking them from above. Next, we've got light machine guns. Light machine guns like the British Lewis gun and other guns were very effective because you could take an automatic weapon with you. You could climb out of the trenches and you could lay down automatic fire, and it was very portable. Whereas before machine guns needed to be set up, these light machine guns really helped to take the battle out of the trenches. Next, tanks. Tanks were these huge monsters originally built to cross rough terrain, including trenches. If you notice, they have kind of a slope design which allowed them to go over trenches. The cannons on either side were made to aim down a trench and attack the men in them. Originally, they were extremely slow, but nonetheless, they would protect the soldiers inside from rifle fire, and they became the backbone for mobile warfare. World War II, these tanks are going to outpace fortifications and trenches and helps make warfare more mobile. The very last on our list that helps end trench warfare and hence helps end World War I are the doughboys, Americans, young men volunteering to fight for Uncle Sam. Brought lots of enthusiasm, lots of men, and we helped turn the tides. Even though Americans were not accustomed to trench warfare, we learned the ropes, and if the Germans killed 1,000 Americans, 2,000 more would take their place. Just sheer American grit and force of numbers helped end World War I and forced the Germans to surrender. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the weapons and tactics that helped end trench warfare and end World War I as a whole. We've got artillery, airplanes, light machine guns, tanks, and doughboys. So what other weapons helped end trench warfare and helped end World War I as we know it? Go ahead and put your answers in the comments down below. Thank you very much. Have a great day.